Alright, welcome back to Mediocre. Ooh, what is happening there? Welcome back to Mediocre Core Episode 4. And today, as you saw, we did clear out a bit of this land. It's just growing the grass back right now. Need to go back through and place these torches. I'd like to do some terraforming. I'd like to make our little mountain area look a bit more in the style of what I want it to be. So I can build around it and hopefully mesh the terrain with my build rather than try and combine them later. Because I'm really bad at doing that. What I'll do is I'll build something and then I'll terrain around it, and it doesn't flow as well as I think it could. So this time I'm going to try and go in reverse and terrain first, and build the actual buildings afterwards. But first, I've got to get new tools. We did get Fortune 3 on a pickaxe, and we went mining a little bit just so we could have some resources to work with. Got, I think, 19 diamonds, including this shovel here. And yeah, it looks to be everything I collected. Like I said, welcome back. I am trying a new thing with these title cards, and I'll talk about my mic in the next one. To be honest, here I was just having a bit of fun with the replay mod, so we did change our mineshaft a little bit. We put some wooden slats over it, like most of the mineshafts in the base game are, and on top of that, we got up here to the monster spawner, added some buttons. They're not in here sadly, I added them afterwards. We added some buttons, and it's spawning pretty decently, pretty regularly, and we also got a farm built up. I built up a nice farm and pathway, and I'll show that off right here. Alright, we're back, and as you can see, I do have a couple of fancy new tools. We got ourselves Sharpness 4 and Silk Touch, and we have a Fortune 3 one as well. Just because, we needed better stuff to actually start collecting for our build. What is this? Oh, yeah. I do have... I don't even know what I pressed for that. Well, never mind. There's a mod that lets me... It's a mini HUD. I wanted to use it to see where monster spawning was at, but I have no clue how to use mini HUD to show monster spawning. I did find, so Vanilla Plus v3.3, something that I've found kind of negative with it. I like it. I love the way it looks. Everything but if you go, yep, right there. You have a high angle on the camera, it flash. Oh, low angle as well. I'm gonna start doing that. That probably hurts your eyes. It hurts mine. But we did make this farm right here, as you can see. I think I tried something new with my paths. Usually for pathing or making paths like this, I try and keep it even with the rest of the ground, but I think it was much nicer to actually set it into the ground, a block down, and have staircases all up around my farms, to blend it better, in my opinion. I have no idea how you feel, but hopefully you like it. Pair that with... I need to figure a staircase out for this area. I have no idea what I'm doing right there. But it's not really an automatic farm just yet. Okay. Oh! I made a mistake. I accidentally died to one of those fellows earlier. I lost all of my levels and a bunch of progress with it. Please don't kill me. He keeps killing himself trying to get here. You can just give up and be happy. We expanded that dirt up there, whatever. I've been working on the interior of my house right now. Oh, I haven't looked at it with shaders yet, actually. I put my desk over here. I do want to make this more house-styled, so have walls in between everything. For now, though, just because... these chests are in the way, I'm not going to do that. That scared me. And upstairs, the stairs that I still need to build, we've got this right here. It's been slowly churning away, giving me a bunch of different resources. And what we're going to do is about, I think, 12 blocks up, we'll put a dispenser with water in it over some signs, and what it'll do is it'll slow the mob falling to make it so they don't die, and we can one-shot them for XP. And if we want them to die and just collect the loot, we can turn that dispenser off or flash it again, and it'll take the water away so they die on impact. Let's build the furnace room first, I guess. Or not furnace room, chest room. Give ourselves some more deep slate and build that up. Ow! You stop that. You're supposed to spawn in the hole that kills you. As you may be able to tell, I do have a new microphone. I'm not typing or anything right now, but you'll be able to notice in the future as I record, you're not going to hear keyboard clicking in the background. I had to get a new one because I go back and whenever I rewatch my own videos, I cannot stand it. I couldn't figure out with my snowball how to fix it. And I'd like to mention these title cards, like I said, are very inspired by Mumbo Jumbo. I don't want to copy though. I'm trying to make them my own thing. Right now we're going with a very old school horror type thing, One Body Too Many, the Night of the Walking Dead, those types of films. That's the style we're going for this time. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing with this series in terms of like what our end goal is. What kind of end goal do you usually have in a Minecraft world? Personally, I don't really have one. I just build until I can't stop, until my brain is out of ideas for whatever I'm trying to do. But I guess it's difficult to make ideas when you don't have a goal, so we should have some. But usually, you get a book, right? And you have it, or I get a book, and I have a list of stuff that I want to accomplish for farms and stuff like that, and builds. And I've had worlds where I want to build, like, giant trees with underground, like, I need to show that one off. I never built a tree, but I built a root system for it where you, what do? You take off a helmet, like a piece of armor, you know, and it'll open a little door for you in the side of a cliff, and you go into like the underside of a tree, what it was supposed to be, where you like I have my entire chest system and all that. I really need to go actually do a world tour of all of my old stuff, just to, I don't know, hopefully give myself more ideas now, and maybe I could give some, you know, other people ideas for their own stuff in the future. That might be something interesting we do. But I don't know, I do feel a little embarrassed to show off any of my old worlds. Especially the ones where I hadn't, you know, I guess you don't start off being good at everything. You can't start off being good at building. You just gotta slowly grow into it. And I shouldn't be too embarrassed because, I mean, that's what everyone does, right? Everyone starts off building something that's definitely cobbled together poorly, or, you know, not a very good, you know what I mean. It's crappy. It looks bad. But that's a good thing, because if you start building off bad, eventually you can figure out a style you enjoy putting together yourself. And a lot of the times it ends up being inspired from other people, you know? That's alright. You're allowed to take inspiration from someone else's designs. I don't care too much personally whenever it's me copying something else. I have a world where, or that same world with the tree roots, I built a house just because I wanted to build it that was very, very heavily based on someone else's design. Like a screenshot I saw. And after I was done with it, I was like, man, I hate this because it looks cool, but I have none of my personality in that thing. There's nothing of me in it. All it is, and I'm not talking like, you know, my face or some silly thing like that. I'm talking like there was no identity that I built for that thing. It was someone else's idea that I put together, you know, from a screenshot. I put in the work, definitely, to actually get it built up and get it looking the way I wanted it to, compared to what I had access to, because they didn't have like a full picture of it. It was one of those builds that's locked behind paywalls or something, or a guide on how to do it. And those are neat and all, like to each their own. Everyone has their own style of playing. I just don't like it for myself when it comes to building my stuff. I want to build stuff that feels original to me. It feels unique to, you know, my own interpretation on building and my own interpretation on how I want to do things. So it definitely felt and still is very empty. It didn't feel like I had ever used it because I didn't. It didn't feel like I had ever actually put it together for my own purposes. I was just doing it to make something look nice. So there definitely is a line, in my opinion, that comes to, yeah, stuff can look nice, but is your, you know, head in, or the thing that's making that look nice, or is it someone else putting together something that, you know, just does? I'm bad at wording stuff. I wish I was better. I don't know. We all get better, don't we? Just gotta keep trying, keep spitting out words until eventually something funny or smart or, you know, thoughtful comes out. Not every word's gonna be useful, just some of them. I guess every word can be useful in that way, though, because then you can know what, by knowing what isn't useful, you can get better at knowing how to say something that is. I think most people probably find it difficult, though, taking pride in their own stuff, in terms of, you know, following something. I know I have a huge difficulty when it comes to cooking, especially, where as fun as it is, you know, using a recipe to make food, I find it so much more entertaining cooking and trying to make my own recipe based on, like, just the ingredients that someone provides me, because I, you know, try and put everything together in a way that makes sense to me, in a way that tastes good, without directly, you know, copying what someone else has already done. And although that is definitely very counterintuitive to actually making something efficiently and quickly, it helps me learn what I want from cooking, or what I want, you know, like from a meal. And I definitely am able to feel much more prideful in what I do with cooking rather than following a recipe. And that there probably is specifically me being hard-headed. And I'm probably the most hard-headed person I know. I'm very, I want to do it myself. I hate, and I don't hate, but I don't like listening to what other people have to say to me, or like say for me in terms of what I should be doing. I'll take it into account, usually, but I'm not gonna sit there and say, okay, can you just tell me how to get everything ever I want done? It feels like it's, and it feels disingenuous to myself in terms of learning how to get stuff done in that way. Then what good is me doing something if I'm not getting something from it? And that sounds bad, because sometimes there are things, like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you should never do anything unless it's valuable to you. No, that's stupid. But most of the time, you should try and, like, figure out stuff to do that's good for you learning, or good for you, you know, obtaining some sort of knowledge from it, rather than just, you know, doom scrolling is a big example, where, like, I personally I've caught myself sitting there and just scrolling for, like, an hour or more, especially first thing in the morning. And it just doesn't, like, what's it do for me? I'm sitting there actively wasting precious time in my life. Looking at stuff I do not care about. Looking at stuff that, like, yeah, it's funny in the moment, but I will forget about in the next 10 minutes. I could be doing so much more with it. Even though, like, sometimes it's fun, but with that big or insignificant amount of time, it adds up more and more and more as you do it more and more. As I waste more time, so what good is it if I'm not waste it like that? It feels like I'm wasting a very precious resource, which is that time. So I fear doing it too much. But I definitely can. This is a little unrelated as well, but please, if you have anything you would like to, you know, talk about, anything you have to say, put it down in the comments. I want to read it. Like, especially if you're okay with me reading it at the end of the video. So that's been so fun. I really want to get like an actual desk set up sometime in like an office. You can't see my air quotes, but little office area in the game, just so I can have, like, I can read people's comments, get their thoughts, and get a better understanding of the people that watch what I make. It's been very fun so far, so I hope you partake. You know, as much as I like the old-timey style of these, like, classic horror movies, I definitely haven't seen a good chunk of them, so give me any suggestions for movies you like, especially if they're in the horror genre. Alrighty, we've got our chest room done up. It's not, you know, organized or anything just yet. We still gotta actually move everything in here, but we got 3 sections on either wall. Dark oak and pink. I just wanted a little variation between the 2 sides. And this last portion, we could either put chests here or some form of, like, armor stands, you know, have 4 armor stands on this back wall, having custom armor, something like that. That might be interesting. Or, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe put our bedroom back here, who's to say? I don't know, that was pretty fun. I enjoyed building this room a lot, actually. It still needs some work on the ceiling, whatever, all that kind of junk. But we're not there yet. We've just got other plans today, specifically with terraforming. We got a decent amount of stone, so I think that's what I want to start next. Everything is all, you know, organized and set up, totally. Let's actually, I can have you look around. Yeah, would you look at that? I removed all of the chests. I'm gonna go back to my body and put everything organized all up in these chests. We got, like, our ores, tools, armor, animal drops. Everything is in its own unique spot. And we should have plenty of storage for the time being. I think this time, though, what I want to do is I want to put myself in this, and we want to make ourselves a nice little enchanting setup right through here. Okay, I was going to do it in 4th person, whatever you want to call that, where I'm out of body. That's not going to work. Is it 2nd person? I have no idea. How does that look? Feel balanced? Oh, yeah, and then we can take... This is not the right world. We need an armor stand. We've got nothing set up for it, but... Oh, furnaces. This could just be like our little area. Let's move everything back here, actually. Got everything but the desk. The desk will be in this main area, and this right here will be where the wall is going to go. I'm working on the ceiling right now. I need to have a staircase. I think I'll have it curve up over a door right in the middle, so there will be a door here or off center a little bit, and the staircase will curve up this wall and take you to the second floor. Mobs only spawn at light level 0, right? Yeah. Oh, we're perfectly fine in here. We don't have to light up a thing in regards to that room. I think all that's left is these couple rooms. This mob grinder has been working super efficiently for the most part. I mean, it takes a lot of time to get anything else done, so if you have one of these set up in the background, and you just take a swing at it every here and again, you start building up a decent quantity of resources like this. I've already got almost a stack and a half of gunpowder, 2 stacks of gunpowder, we're getting there. And just builds up pretty efficiently for the most part. I like it a lot. Very useful for maybe you too. I am putting a bit of a stone like casing around this build, just in case something may, like if something were to blow up out here, or I think another thing I'm worried about is this bed trying to spawn me outside of that corner. So we just filled all of that in nice and thick. Oh, there we are. Would you look at that? A nice little just wrong person. Gee. There we are. Very cozy. I like it a lot, actually. I've been very much enjoying taking my time, like actually going through and designing every single little aspect of what I'm doing, and I want to do more of it. I mean, like my farm, if you remember that down the hill, I spent the entire time waiting for those seeds to grow, just designing that pathway. And I want to do more and more of that, where everything is custom, like, you know, everything is built to be pretty and functional. I want everything to be useful, along with, you know, looking good. Another thing, I don't think this mod affects that. No, I do have one mod that changes gameplay a little bit, where you run faster specifically on path blocks. But I'm not too worried about it, you know, actually using that for now. I think what we'll do too, I don't know, I want to have a path come up this way, but I also want this path, because it's got a fork right there, I want it split left and right to go to the village, left to come back up to this hill. But how do you do that without having both paths come back to the house? I guess I could steer more around this hill with that path, and make this one more based on our house. But for now, I think we'll get back to terraforming. I've started it some, as you can see. It was raining, and I got carried away designing the interior of my house. But we'll get back to actually decorating the outside again. Seriously though, we are about to get back into terraforming. I just got distracted. Like I said, there's no brain in my head. But, we'll get there eventually. And by eventually, I mean right now. This process is very slow and methodical, but it does work. What I usually do when I'm going to do terrain like this specifically, I think this is my favorite style for like cliffside stuff, is you do like sections of 3 all the way down, and then after that you're going to go back through and you're going to adjust stuff to have like different spikes or different areas where you can see where the water has dripped down the face of the cliff. I know a lot of places where I live, you've got like highways and stuff, or like deep caves in the state I live in, that you can see the way like the water runs down the side of that cliff or that cave face, like the walls of the caves, whatever. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Right now, it doesn't look like that yet, but I can guarantee you it will. Just give it time. I'm just checking in to update you with the progress so far. We've almost cleared out everything down to here. I think I might have said originally we were going to keep it mostly original, or like mostly, you know, what the terrain already was. I changed my mind. I wanted to adapt it to what I liked more, and hopefully you'll like it too. We're going very cliffsidey, very, I don't know, if Stardew Valley or like, what's the other, those style of games where you've got like harsh cliff faces for the walls rather than, you know, more sloping hills. I really wanted to do that. I think the backside of this mountain, where we have more stuff, there will be more of a sloping, like mountain-esque or hill-esque vibe, but from this side specifically, I really wanted to do this cliff face design. I think it works much better for the way I'm trying to build my house, you know, into what I'm doing. So I'll keep going, I guess. We are going to have this boulder right here, as you can see. This is going to be like its own big structure that'll be this, not a centerpiece, but like a piece to our terraining as well. So let's get further ahead. We're back to it. Like that path down there, this one we're doing 4 out, and although it's very, very all that functional, and I say functional, not like working, but more like math functions type stuff where I just do 4 out and do that for the entire way around to keep it even. We're gonna do that to make a small little incline on this hill, just so it looks decent. We wouldn't want to have a straight flat area this large. It's fine if you have a flat area that you want to build something on, like up there. You go over here real quick, you can see it's going to be very flat, but that's because I want to have a building up there of some sort. What kind of building? Maybe a windmill? I don't think so, but something like that. So this area is going to be fairly flat, just so we can fit that on, and I can shape around the terrain on this backside. But down here, it's going to be mostly open terrain, maybe a small structure or two, but nothing major enough to warrant this much flat, empty space. Other than, like, what, this little area right here where the rest of my house is going to go. And that means we're going to have to add a hill to it. And this is my favorite way. I don't know how good it is for you, how accurate it is for what you want to build or recreate, whatever. That's the way I personally prefer it. Hopefully stuff like that can help you out. I don't really know. I know a lot of people struggle building their own stuff or struggle coming up with their own designs for things, but a lot of it's very formulaic. That's the word. You want to have a formula, and although I'm not trying to say everything should be the exact same, like, perfect pattern repeated every single time. No, you do want to have asymmetries, and you do want to have it where it, like, breaks up at times, but at the very base of it, you want to have a start that is, oh, I can't point. I was trying to point to my monitor. You want to have a start that's similar to this, where it's formulaic at first, and then you start breaking it up later on with different patterns or different, like, designs throughout the entire thing. I think that it'll make your builds look much more alive and, like, organic, in my opinion. It, like I said, doesn't look like it yet. That'll change as I fix that. We have a few hiccups here and there as well. Whoops. I think before I get to blending blending, what? I think before I get to, what do you call that, actually making it look a little bit more organic than it is right now, shaping up this hill for the final bit, I like this general idea we've got going on, the general, like, feel we've got of the shape of the cliffside. We'll just make it thicker in some places, like here, and thinner in these places to have more, like, crevices and boulders sticking out or in. But first, I'd like to change the way this house right here is. It was originally going to be going into a cliff face, but now that we have this more open, I can actually extend it and put, like, a room basically right here that connects to the upstairs, and have basically dual entrances to the upstairs and downstairs of this place. I know, I spitball ideas a lot in my videos, you'll hear, and that, although it's a good idea for what generally is going to happen for the most part, I've got to, like, adapt and develop my ideas as I go through and as I find what's working and like what I feel looks decent. So deal with it, and deal with it. Sorry, please deal with it. I'd appreciate it. It's difficult keeping everything 100% exactly what I say it's supposed to be, because you know, stuff changes, stuff happens, and I feel differently about the way things are once they're in place. I don't know what everything's going to look like till it's there, so hopefully I can make it look good nonetheless. And let me, I guess, get to doing that then. I can't seem to make a house that doesn't have, like, a hairstyle when it comes to an actual over roof. I really want to curve this if I can, like, do a soft curve, and have not like a barn style, because barn are definitely more vertical, but it's semicircle style, possibly, with trapdoors and stairs. I think I've got a good idea so far. I don't know yet. I really don't know which one I like more, the left side or the right side over here. I think the right side is better overall. I just don't like how sharp these... Or yeah, this little connector right here is... See if I can do this. If it's not clear, this free cam is completely separate from my body, so you can see exactly what I can see. Ow. I have, it's hard to control that. Toss that back there. F, G. Nope. That's, oh. Free cam is very fun, but it's so hard to use whenever you're trying to control yourself apart from yourself. Okay, let's correct it. Oh, look at it. Actually, I think the stairs all the way up is best. That might be it. Don't forget to do your laundry? I don't know. I'm gonna finish some of the terraforming and base designing before the next episode, but I'll make sure to show you everything I've done and how we do everything. I've got a few really cool designs I think you're gonna enjoy. Alright, welcome back to the section where I read your comments, and today we've got a few different videos to pick from those comments. So for the first one, we're looking at the Dread video where I've got comments from Human the Third. I thought this was a bigger channel when I saw it in my For You page, so I'm commenting to boost in the algorithm. I really appreciate it. I hope to look like a bigger channel so that one day I can become one, you know? From Bot5507FR, keep it up. I'll do my best, man, I appreciate it. Nicholas Clover 4406. Hey, love this. Feels like I'm watching two buds shoot the shit and play some Minecraft. I really appreciate it. You didn't hear me curse just then. Pretend like this was a horror series. Tempest Queen 09. Love it. Keep up the amazing work. You've been around for a while and I appreciate you sticking around. I hope the rest of you do the same. Just like this person, if you comment, I'll put your comment at the end of the next video, and I'd love to read whatever you have to write. As long as you, keep it PG for the most part. Don't curse too much, please. Or anything else like that. And from my last Mediocre core video, Lucas8471. Pleasure to watch you from France, mate. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to make videos from America. And we've also got a few more. You look like Moist Critical. I swear one of you sounds like Moist Critical. Thanks, Charlie. Stuff like that, you know? And I really don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I appreciate it. We might have a video coming out about that or something similar in the future, who's to say. And with that, I hope my new microphone stops making me sound so much like Charlie. We'll see. Maybe I'm trying to impersonate his voice. I'm not. This is my normal voice. But with that, I hope to see you next time, and I appreciate you for sticking around the entirety of this time. I can't speak. Bye-bye.